I think it was just attention to detail. Guys were into the ball and pick and rolls. Last night we weren't. Weak side was in. Last night we weren't. And the proof is in the pudding. I think, this is a talented offensive team. And if we can do that against these guys, we have to do it, for the majority of the rest of our schedule.
You do this on the second night of a back-to-back, too, and we've always, there's a lot of chatter about resting guys and whatever, but tonight, for a rare time, you went without Kyle and DeMar on the floor at the same time.
Yeah, well, Kyle had it rolling in the third quarter, so we went with his stint a little longer, and we just couldn't put him back in the fourth quarter because just the fatigue factor. And then the other factor was Pat. We had to get him a quick blow, and then get him right back in with JV coming out. Again, Horford presents a problem out on the perimeter. JV punished him inside, but Horford gave us trouble on the outside. So the small lineup at the end was a real plus for us.
Part of that small lineup was Norman Powell. The kid, sometimes he doesn't play at all. He sits for 2 or 3 games, and then you put him in, and he has a night like tonight. Can you speak to his professionalism?
Well, he's just a mature young man. I think that says something about guys being in school for 4 years. He comes in, doesn't play, like you said, steps in, gets you 20 points, defensive toughness. I can't say enough of good things about him because one thing, he works his behind off. He's prepared every time we put him in the lineup. And that's what our team should be about, is what he represents, how his toughness, his team-first attitude is huge. And, again, it says a lot about our guys on a back-to-back night, too, coming in and scrapping and fighting like that. And we weren't happy about last night, the way we played. We played against a good, talented, young Minnesota team, but we knew we could have been better defensively. And guys stepped up and did it tonight.
Lucas gave you some great minutes tonight, too, changing shots, rebounding at the defensive end, which was a problem early on, too.
He did. He and Jonas both. Jonas had 10 rebounds. Both of them did a good job in the paint. Rebounding, just when they went small, was an issue. But both bigs did an excellent job. And I love the way JV is, just being positive. Last night he had a good offensive night. Tonight he rebounded. So everybody contributed. I can't, there's no negatives tonight.
I know it's, we're only a quarter way through the season, but when you look back, can you reflect back and look at the mental toughness that your team seems to have gained over the last maybe 2-3 years?
Well, that's what I preach it all the time. Nobody's happy, even if you win or you don't lose control when you lose. It's a marathon. It's a mental game. The entire season. The way you approach it every day in practice, shoot around, whatever it is, it's got to be consistent. Sometimes it's boring, but it's the way you have to trudge down the marathon of an NBA season.
You watch the soccer game tomorrow?
Yes, I will.
Kyle Lowry had 34, played great offensively. Could you just speak to just how
he's playing? He and DeMar both are playing, like Trojans. Those guys are bringing it each night. As far as the minutes, I want to get their minutes down, but they're carry us. We went there for a little while without them in there, and the lead kind of disappeared. So they're big for our team. Both of them are playing big. Both of them are being leaders on the floor, off the floor, and then doing it by example.